Hey, Future Frost here, back with another data pack for the Origins mod. Today I'm going to be going over the Troglodyte. This origin was suggested by the Great Walmart Bag on Discord. If you'd like to suggest your own data pack, you can do so over on my Discord server as well. Link will be in the description, alongside with a link to the data pack page on Modrinth. While you're down in the description, I would appreciate it if you subscribed, and if that's not quite for you, if you could at least like the video, I would really appreciate that. Both of those really help with the algorithm and getting my video out to people, and seeing the subscriber count and like count go up is a huge motivator for working on new data packs and continuing to make new stuff. Alongside those other links, there's also a link to my Twitch channel. I don't stream there all too often, but who knows, you might be able to catch me sometime. I'd love for you to stop by. Now, on to the data pack. I hope I didn't lose too many of you. You may be wondering, what exactly is a troglodyte? Primitive and savage, troglodytes are reptilian humanoids who have always been creatures of instinct and brutality. They dwell in the lightless depths of the world, driven by hunger and a primal connection to their chaotic god. Troglodytes have no noble past, only an existence steeped in filth, violence, and survival. The Troglodyte has an impact of 3, meaning it significantly changes the gameplay of the base game. I could go into the details explaining what all made me decide to give an impact of 3, but I think as the video goes on, you'll come to understand why I decided with this. Now for the first ability we have Savage Strength, which is the primary. With sinews hardened by years of subterranean survival, you can grab and hurl others with feral might. What this ability does is you can go up to an entity and use your primary key to pick them up. From there, you can hit the primary key again to launch them in the direction that you are looking. The next ability we have is Burrowed Rest. Your subterranean instincts allow you to sleep anywhere, finding comfort in jagged stone or buried earth. You need no bed, as any sheltered spot feels as natural as home. What this modifier does is that if you sneak and use your primary, you will be able to sleep anywhere you want. You won't need a bed, though you can't sleep on a bed anyway because of a modifier that we'll get into later. It is important to note that to sleep, you will need to be in a light level of 10 or lower. The next ability we have is Flesh and Fat. Your metabolism is monstrous. By focusing, you store excess nourishment in grotesque fat reserves. Focus and draw from these reserves to replenish yourself at the cost of stored energy. What this ability does is that when you use your secondary, you will store a chunk of your hunger into a resource bar, and then when you sneak and use your secondary, you will pull that hunger that you stored back out of the resource bar into your hunger bar. First positive modifier we have is Claws of Ruin. Your claws are brutal tools of destruction, as effective as iron implements. They can carve through stone, soil, and flesh with equal ease, serving as both weapons and tools. What this modifier means is pretty straightforward. When you're using just your bare hand, you can't be holding any kind of item. You will be able to dig through stone and soil as if you were using an iron shovel or an iron pick. Alongside that, when you have an empty hand, you will also do the damage you would have done if you were holding an iron sword. The next modifier we have is Corrupted Constitution. Your savage biology grants you immunity to poison and hunger, letting you endure ailments that would destroy most surface dwellers. This modifier is very straightforward. All it does is allows complete immunity to poison and hunger. The next modifier we have is Eyes of the Abyss. Generations of darkness have honed your vision. Permanent night vision allows you to pierce even the deepest shadows, but bright light remains blinding. What this modifier does is that you have 24/7 night vision. It never runs out, but if you are in a light level of 10 or higher, a white overlay will be applied to your screen. You'll still be able to see, but everything will be brightened, almost too much. For the first neutral modifier, we have Child of Darkness. You are a creature of night. The sun's warmth brings no comfort, and you instinctively seek rest during the day. This kind of loops back to that Burrowed Rest ability that we were talking about, in that you can only sleep during the day. To be able to make this ability, I had to make it so you could just completely disable beds, but don't worry, you can still set your spawn by using the Burrowed Rest ability. The next modifier we have is Monstrous Form. Your towering frame stands at an imposing height, a grotesque figure of power and terror. Few can meet your gaze without trembling. All this modifier means that you are 2.25 blocks tall instead of the usual player height. For the most part, this doesn't change gameplay too much, but you will find that you're not able to fit under 2 block doorways without sneaking. The next modifier we have is Repugnant Presence. Your foul odor is your natural defense. Hostile mobs instinctively avoid you, but villagers find your presence intolerable, sending their iron golems to eliminate you on sight. What this modifier means is that hostile mobs will be completely passive to you unless you attack them first, and that iron golems will attack you without needing to be provoked at all. The range for them is about 16 blocks, and if you go within that range, they will aggro on you and chase you down to attack you. The next modifier we have is Stonebound Scales. Your hardened scales offer natural protection akin to armor, but make swimming impossible. Water becomes an enemy, dragging you down due to your immense weight. What this modifier means is that you naturally have 3.5 armor points, and that water you cannot swim in at all. You'll just slowly sink to the bottom. For the first negative modifier, we have Gluttonous Curse. Your monstrous size demands a constant intake of sustenance. You grow hungry faster than ordinary beings, a cruel irony in the barren depths you call home. What this modifier means is that you'll go through your hunger bar faster. It's pretty straightforward. For the last negative modifier, we have the light's Scorn. Bright light is agony. Exposure cripples you, sapping your strength and agility. You belong to the shadows, and the sun's wrath reminds you of this curse. What this modifier means is that if you are in a light level of 10 or higher, you will be given an effect similar to slowness, and you'll do less damage when attacking mobs. Alright, that's all I have for this data pack. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you watched this far into the video, odds are you enjoyed watching it, so I would really appreciate if you took a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video, if you haven't already. One last note before I end the video off, I have gotten a new microphone just here recently, so if the microphone sounds weird at all, or if you notice any audio glitches, that is probably why. I haven't quite figured out my audio settings with it yet, so give me a little bit of leeway. I do think I found some settings that work pretty well, but I'm still just not entirely sure. Let me know what you guys think about it. Anyways, that's all I got. I'll see you guys next time.